What I did, dude, was I worked backwards from my perfect day. That's honestly what I did, is I looked at my perfect day, like, where am I working? What am I doing? Am I writing? Am I
I'm
talking?
sipping on success, feet up in the air. Why work harder when you can play it smart? That's the lazy leverage way to steal their heart.
Welcome back to Lazy Leverage. I'm joined here by Patrick from Hoboken, New Jersey, two Jersey boys talking. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Good to be here.
Most people will know you because you were the anonymous creator behind the Franchise Wolf account, which there's a whole journey associated with that that I'm somewhat familiar with. And now you are running, all I remember is the logo's a hot dog.
Brand dogs, baby.
Brand
Brand
dogs.
dogs.
Okay, cool. And you're doing that with JT Singh?
Yeah.
Cool. So you originally started publishing anonymously because you had to hide from my co-founder, Kayvon, because you were still working from him in the franchise industry and you didn't want to get fired, true or false?
Shades of gray, man. Shades of gray.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah. That was definitely a big part of it. I would love to say that, like, I had this master plan with like an anonymous brand that would resonate really well. I did like loosely have a theory that just like a quote, like a branded account, right? Where it's like still clearly an individual, but within reading the name, seeing the profile picture, you just know what the account's all about. That would like lead
I call
to
you Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah,
I used to call
exactly.
you Wolf. Yeah.
So but it was mainly that. And I also just didn't want to, like, it felt weird early on, man, posting online. So like, I was like, I don't want to do this as my
And you ran with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they call it like strong aliases, which is like, it's definitely one person. It's very strongly tied to them. It's not like, Boner Jams 420, right? It's very obviously a person, right?
Yeah.
It's a person named, Pat behind it, but the public face is the Franchise Wolf, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And like car dealership guy did it, strip mall guy. There's a few others.
Yeah. And you came to prominence in the heyday of Threads.
Hell
right?
yeah.
I think at some point you told me that like 85% of your followers were from like 7 of your posts, right?
It was a lot. Yeah. Like it was definitely kind of home runs drove the follower success, which, I learned too that like that doesn't really matter. And like I think you're like a great case study, right, of why like your total follower numbers should not be what you optimize for. But yeah, I definitely had some big wins on Threads back when they were hot, like growing by like 9 or 10,000 followers off of a few threads.
I had a post to 7 million yesterday and I got 400 followers.
I was actually curious to hear. Yeah. It got like
400.
120,000 likes or something.
A shitload. Yeah. I don't know.
But
it's
it
dumb,
was
though.
It was over
It's
100K, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's you just got like the most generalized viral post ever. It had nothing to do with like offshore talent or small business. Still cool though.
But the thing for me is it's still like, I don't take myself that seriously. And I don't really I don't even have my, I don't have my monetization even set up on Twitter. So it's not like it's not like I'm making $500 for that. It's just like making fun of myself and the way that me and all my buddies used to have our hair. Like,
I mean, it's a good, I used to have my hair like that. So
dude, you went to Seton Hall Prep. Of course you did.
Yeah, man. I mean, you understand.
So young parents in Northern New Jersey, Seton Hall Prep versus Del Barton. Why go to Seton Hall Prep when the Del Barton is the 500-pound gorilla in the room?
Oh God. I mean, well, for one, financially, there's a massive difference.
Is that true? Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Del Barton's like, I think it's more than college tuition now.
Is it?
It was like
used to make
40
fun
or
of Del Barton.
It was 40 or 50 grand when I was going to high school. I mean, Seton Hall, like it's a private school. I think it's probably 12 grand today.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they do a lot of folks there on like financial aid. It's a much different vibe culturally than Del Barton.
We used to make fun of the Del Barton guys a lot.
Everyone does. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Ivy League private high school where Seton Hall is like, it's private, but like it's really.
So I shouldn't compare them.
No, oh my God, no.
In my brain, though, because we played 2 private schools in football and in baseball. So it was like, oh, Del Barton and Seton Hall Prep. Those were the 2 we played like in our group. But I always thought, oh, like
Yeah,
but that's not right apparently.
No, not at all. It's also just funny too. Like I grew up in a pretty nice town, and like my public high school was way
Where'd you
nicer
grow up?
than Seton Hall. It's called Basking Ridge.
Yeah, dude, I grew up in you can't say it's called Basking Ridge. I was like
Dude.
45 feet from where I grew up. It's
North-
called Basking
North-
Ridge.
I mean, yeah, but you're in the North Jersey. Like I consider that Millburn even. That's like North Jersey as began, and depending on who I meet,
Proper
they're
North
like,
Jersey.
yeah, they're like we're in Somerset County, so it's kind of like proper suburbs, partially farmland even. So, but anyway,
where we used to go play paintball. That's always how I describe that stuff.
Yeah.
Where you go play paintball.
So,
For my
yeah,
birthday party.
Seton Hall, man, was it was very different. Like compared, like my Basking Ridge High School would have been a far more like preppier experience than Seton Hall.
Where I went to school was pretty preppy and it was public school.
Yeah.
So there's like two big things I think I want to talk about. Maybe three big things. And you jump into whatever one you want. The first thing is make sure you get your pitch in for like what you're up to these days, because I don't even know. So just give me like right up front. Let's just get that out of the way and we'll layer it into the conversation as we go. But like, what are you up to these days?
Yeah. So last week, actually, we launched Friend Dogs, we meaning JT and I. And it's today a consulting service. So we'll work with people looking to buy a franchise, sell a franchise. So we'll do M&A activity. And then we work with emerging brands as well, who are either a business that wants to become a franchise, or they already are a franchise and they don't know what they're doing. I'd say our focus is primarily on franchise buyers early on, but we want to grow into kind of some of these other areas.
JT is like a broker by background, right?
He's done a lot. He's been a franchise owner. He scaled a multi-territory franchise, sold it. He was an investment banker. Got a CPA license. He was a CFO of a big like franchise accelerator type company that was, I think it was last valued at like 88 million. So he's like got a super good background, but yeah, he's been brokering for the last year or so. So yeah, we talked about a partnership for a while, so we're pretty happy that we just have something out in the wild.
That was like Kayvon and I are a mutual association. Kayvon and I talked for like 2 years on the phone trying to figure out what we wanted to do together. So it sounds like it's really the same thing with you and JT.
I was the one, I think, who introed you and KB.
No, Kayvon sent me a DM. Kayvon sent me a DM.
Oh,
and then I called you. No.
Oh, you backtracked. You guys were backtracking. Yeah.
Kayvon sent me a DM and I'm like, dude, this guy, whatever. And I think he was like your boss's boss. And I was like, is he real? And you're like, yeah, dude, he's real. He's like really cool. Like, yeah. And then you like gave me like a little bit of like scoop or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
So that's hilarious. Yeah, I forgot. You guys were both back channeling with me. And I was like, this is awkward.
These people are idiots. They're both asking about each other. Because I just want to see if he was real. Like, hey, what's he like?
No, I mean, it's tough. That KB's an example too. Sorry, I'll let you go. But just like he's, like 300 followers. It's just a prime example of like a guy who isn't active.
What I'm chasing. Dude, it's what I'm chasing. I'm chasing that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not chasing, God love you all, but I'm not chasing some of the people out there.
For sure.
I was gonna ask, so what was the name of the Fran Dev? Well, you guys don't call it Fran Dev. With
what, the one I worked at, or the one
Kayvon's, the one you worked at that was part of Kayvon's kind of
Oak Scale
group. Oak Scale, yeah. But with that, and that was your first taste of the franchise world, right?
Like.
Ish.
On the franchising side, I actually worked for a multi-unit franchise owner before that as my first job out of college. Super niche franchise called Johnstone Supply. It's the biggest B2B supplier for HVAC, plumbing, and like some electrical parts. So we sold contractors. Yeah. I hate the industry, but I know all about HVAC and the trades now because of it. It just wasn't for me. Like being a territory manager, like right out of college, driving around New Jersey in a car, knocking on doors to like sell parts to contractors. It was, while my friends are all on Wall Street, I'm like, what am I doing with myself here?
Yeah.
Great experience. But yeah, that was kind of my first taste of like kind of just getting some exposure to the brick and mortar world. And then I wanted to like A, work at a startup, B, get into a different area. Cause again, I just wasn't happy in that role. But I stuck it out for 3 years, was super valuable for like learning how to sell. Oak Scale was fun, and I learned a ton there. Honestly, that was a big learning experience for me.
Super interesting. So, okay, so Fran Dogs, and then just find you on Twitter, right? What's your new handle?
At the Fran Dog.
So, okay, so we got that out of the way. So a couple questions I have for you, which is you are a great example, and I think about this a lot. You and I have talked about this a lot about kind of a content forward business and what to do with that and when it works and when it doesn't work. And can I take this to sell SaaS? And can I do a coaching off? Like, what have you learned that's maybe counterintuitive about, I mean, you said one thing already, which I think I've tried to live, which is kind of like all followers aren't equal. And that's in B2B, kind of like volume is not the game. It's not about low CPMs. It's about the right 500 people, not the wrong 5 million people. Right.
Yes.
But what other lessons, because I know you had some journeys with where you ended up with, you got acquired and all that stuff. So, and with some successes and some challenges and all that stuff, like where have you landed and what are your lessons about that kind of journey? Like, I still believe in content, but only this way, or, like where have your opinions evolved?
Yeah, no, I definitely still believe in content. As far as, I think like it's called like consumer creator, like Mr. Beast of the world, like those types of YouTubers. And I mean, that's just like a whole different arena of
like
content
Jake
creation.
Paul or whatever.
Yeah, like I am not qualified to comment on that. I wouldn't really be interested in doing that kind of content. But from like a B2B landscape, yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a great customer acquisition channel. I would say it's more valuable for like the super niche industries to have an offering that is beyond media, right? Like I see a lot of like smaller creators like launching newsletters, and also they're going entirely organic, right? It's so hard to build like a meaningful newsletter just off organic. That was something I didn't know, but like a lot of the big newsletters like The Hustle, Morning Brew, large majority of their subscribers were all off the back of Facebook ads, right? Not an organic growth. Yeah. So like if you're trying to build a media business, like you're going to need to do paid growth, hands down. And even that is a challenge these days. But yeah, I'd say, so, that's why like I partner with JT, like we're quote unquote, like I will be doing content, but we're monetizing through professional services. So yeah, I'm trying to give you like a good nugget.
Let me build on that because maybe we'll give you some more ideas, which is, I think that when I look at the future, particularly with B2B, which is where you and I like kind of hang out.
Yeah.
Cause I can't qualify on the big stuff, but I think the future is in kind of high affinity niched down B2B creation, because doing you and I, we were laughing about that. Like I had some thread that went viral, but honestly, it's completely worthless. It's at 7 million impressions, but one breakdown that I do about whether you need a chief of staff or an executive assistant, and it has 700 impressions, but it's the right 700 impressions is infinitely more valuable than 7 million impressions about hairstyles, right?
Oh,
I think that's like, I think people miss that though, right? Like I know how to get fake eyeballs, big numbers, small amount of time, controversial opinion, like it's not that hard to get the wrong kind of attention, right?
No, yeah, it's not. And I mean, it's like this strategy to do well takes time, right? Like I think you're at like 20,000 or so, right? Like that was you just been posting for a long time. And that's the best way to do it. Because if you try to growth hack, like don't get me wrong, it was cool to like get 10,000 followers.
It's ego though. It's ego.
So
it's ego.
Ego and just like dopamine, even like, it's like, oh my God, this is awesome. And anyone who says it isn't I think it's full of crap. So I've seen people be like, oh, like, I don't care that I just gained X amount of followers. It's like, yeah, you did. Like these social media algorithms are like incredible at hijacking our.
It's like a rat in a maze.
Yeah. Like pretend. Yeah. Like, okay. Like, yeah, you didn't feel anything from it. Sure. It's awesome. But yeah, like it doesn't actually really lead to, meaningful, conversion, right? Like just like with your big viral thread on Gen Z hair. So I do think it can be used though, right? For if you anchor it within like a subject area, I think it can be used for just casting a wider net and getting more exposure.
More top of funnel eyeballs. Yeah,
exactly. You're just funneling the eyeballs, and then your bread and butter tweets like throughout the week that are more middle of funnel. Like hopefully some of those ones you just brought in are like going to engage with that and resonate with it.
I think it's interesting where I think it's like a balance where, and I think Huber used to do a good job of it. He hasn't really kept up anymore because
No.
Twitter's a less friendly place these days for him. But he did a really good job, I think, in particular. He's one who jumps out, and I think you did too, where you do a little bit of the zazz, but it's on message. So it's like, I hired my son a private tutor from the Philippines. He's like, I'm like, okay, that is very clearly throwing a hand grenade into the algorithm that's going to get kind of interactions, but it's top of funnel for, wait, there's people in the Philippines that you can hire for like that for about a couple of years, he'd get a lot of really good mileage out of it. So I don't think you can't just post like wonky, you got to do a little zhuzh, I think, right? Just to make it readable. You got to format it right. You got to, you gotta know the meta, like threads aren't working these days, right? Like you got to do a little bit of that.
100%. Yeah. I mean, if all your tweets are like bottom of funnel tweets, I mean, you're going to probably tweet into the ether for a while. And for me personally, like, I've been very surprised that Huber's strategy has worked where he's tweeted this publicly where he is basically like, I deliberately post engagement bait and rage bait so that the algorithm like favors my account. And then the next day I post like a serious tweet about real estate or, somewhere.com, whatever. I would have thought honestly that would just, and maybe it has, but people are quiet about it, but it seems like the big real estate folks still engage with him and respect him. Whereas like, to me, I would have been like, that's a risky strategy. Like anyone who's smart is going to be like, this guy's kind of out there. For me, I always used threads as like my top of funnel way to get the algorithm favoring me. But I also like, I do genuinely enjoy telling stories.
Me too. I like writing.
It was my favorite part of doing the whole Wolf journey was I learned that I love telling stories. So I'm just going to lean into it because it's fun. And hopefully it does lead obviously to more follower growth that could be helpful for JT and I.
I think that's people have like asked me before and stuff like what, I was like, first of all, I only write stuff that I would write if nobody read it. Like if I know I should be doing short form vertical video because that's what's getting organic reach these days. I don't want to. So I'm not going to, because I would do it for 30 days. And then I'd be like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I really like podcasting. I really like tweeting. I like writing my newsletters. I'm good. Like, you're right. I should totally, nah. So like, I think that's like the first principle is you have to write for you kind of, right? Like, cause you're just not going to keep it up if you don't like it, right?
You're not going to keep it up. And also just the more formats you go, the more platforms you go to, the quality is going to suffer. I mean, I see a lot of people. I spoke to someone who's doing he's like a direct to consumer, like CPG type B2B newsletter. And he's talking about, he's already got a newsletter. He's going to do a podcast and a YouTube channel and like 2 other things. And I was like, the newsletter will get worse. I promise you that, because now you just talked about 4 other, or your podcast and YouTube channel are going to suck. There's no way you can keep up tweeting at the rate you are, writing this amazing weekly newsletter, and then just have a high quality YouTube channel on top of it with a podcast. Like there's only so many hours in a day.
Unless I think, right? Like, unless you end up doing what say like Girdley did, right? Which is you end up making your media its own P&L. But I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to like, and meaning I have a production team and I sell ads. Yeah. And I'm just like, dude, like I want to write so that I can build what I want to build, not try to build a media business and Sagan, right? Like, I think you can do high quality content on 7 different channels, but then you have to build like a media team that's got its own P&L.
100%. Yeah. And Girdley's a great example. I've been kind of studying his YouTube channel for a little while now. Yeah. He's getting after it on all platforms. I would say it costs a lot less to do that today though. You still have to hire people, but like go offshore for YouTube.
Put the pitch. Wait, come on. How's it been? You made a couple hires with Sagan.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've got a video, our YouTube channel's not live yet, but we're building up a little bit of a bank, and then we're going to just spam the algorithm to try to get us like to be recognized a lot quicker than it would normally take.
Good editor.
Oh, he's phenomenal. Yeah.
Cost
$1,300 a month.
Yeah. God bless America.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. He's amazing, man. Like can do full on animations. He's also he understands storytelling, which is why I hired him over like some of the others that your team sent me. Because I'm big on, like, that's my whole thing. I'm like, hey man, like I want to tell stories, and so he's not just like it's a few editors I talk to. He's like, all right, I'm gonna have to like guide them through like what my vision is. With this guy, like I can kind of just give him the dots, and he knows exactly how to connect them, and then he sends me the video back. Yeah, and I'm like, oh my dude, this is phenomenal. Like he changes the music at the right point. Yeah, no, it's pretty.
Oh,
awesome.
really?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm pumped to like. I mean, it's going to be a big experiment because it's a newer platform, and I'm still getting used to talking in front of a camera, like with my actual face, for the first time. So
yeah, I like the pods. I've never, I don't know why. I've never been able to do it. I'll be curious to see how like do you like it?
I love YouTube. Short form is.
I like watching YouTube. Well, I guess long form I could do.
I think it's the ultimate storytelling platform, which is why I'm super excited to go for it, because you look at, like if you think about a Twitter thread, I think if I turned my best Twitter threads into YouTube long form, like even, I'm not talking like super long, just like 10 minutes. I think that's a much more enjoyable way for the consumer to, get that story versus reading it and scrolling through Twitter. So, yeah, I don't know. Again, it's going to be an experiment, but I'm bullish on it as a storytelling platform. And also, I just think it is the most, we're talking about like the X algorithm has changed, with threads are out and short form vertical is in on X, which I didn't even know that. So thanks for telling me.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
You said that earlier.
Oh yeah, just in general, short form,
yeah.
vertical video, just across everything is what gets organic these days, right?
No, fair.
Yeah, but I don't know whether X or not. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but YouTube, right? Like they have the YouTube Shorts now, so yes, like they've jumped on that trend. But the algorithm like largely doesn't change. They're paying out creators insane billions of dollars every year. It's a very different.
Yeah, it's and you get discoverability, of course.
Yes.
I mean, that's the other huge thing, right? So, yeah, it's there is a form when I've looked at it, like, because I've been eyeing YouTube, and when I look at it, I'm like, I look at who I'd want to do like I love YouTube, right? Like consuming it. Like, I love Veritasium.
Okay.
I love Smarter Every Day. I love, like, I have to recognize that there's so many versions of YouTube that are not Mr. Beast or Hormozy.
Oh, yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like Chris Crone. Like, I have to get it out of my head that it can also be like this art form channel. It's a blank slate. It's not one thing. You don't have to do thumbnails with a dumb fucking face to do YouTube.
I won't be doing that. Like, I will not be doing that. I don't think you have to. Which, like, again, I know. Maybe I'm an idiot.
Have something with a big number with someone pointing to it. Like, and I'm gonna like I would off myself before I would do that. Yeah. But you can do great YouTube without doing that.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some really awesome channels, and yeah, I mean the internet's a massive place. That's the other thing. No, it's so hard to fathom, but yeah, there's so many.
It's unfair for me to say that it's only like stupid face, big number, smash cuts. Like, it's unfair for me to categorize it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just so big. And even, I mean, you think about all these platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, like there's just, I mean, when you think about hundreds of millions of users on these platforms consuming content on a monthly basis. I was, a while ago, I was DMing with Patrick O'Shaughnessy, who has a sweet podcast called Invest at Invest. And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, we're not going to go to YouTube. Like, our audience isn't there. And I think he was coming at it more, probably was coming at it more from like our podcast is high quality. I can't do it at the same level on YouTube at the same time. So like, we're not even going to focus. And like,
good answer, but his audience is there. His audience is 100% there.
That's the thing.
Everybody's there.
I'm like, dude, there's 800 million people on it. Like, yeah, exactly. Everyone is there. So, and it's going to be cool too. Like, they're coming out with new tools with AI where you can auto translate all your videos so that people in different countries can watch it. So like, your discoverability is going up, which, like, for what I'm doing from like a JT and I are doing from a business perspective, that doesn't help at all. But it's just going to be interesting, man, to see kind of.
There's a lot of international buyers for franchises.
That's true. E2 visas.
I know that game for E2s. Yeah.
E2 visas are a big deal. Yeah.
It's a great channel. If you guys I want to talk about it. I know that game pretty well.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So if you guys ever want to talk about that, there's definitely some good stuff there.
When I worked at Kayvon's company, I feel like a couple times a month we'd get someone who was like looking for that, but it seemed like there was a million hoops to jump through, and
it's not that. The thing is it's like a lot of the government stuff where all you have to do is figure out the hoops once.
okay.
Like you can run Facebook ads in Mexico saying, do you want to buy this franchise? $85,000 done for whatever. And then you just get an immigration lawyer who does a $2,000 whatever. And now you've got this guy, you know what I mean? Like again, you only have to figure out the system once. And then it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you just got to spend a week learning how it works. And then it's like, not, so that would be, if you ever considered it, it feels big and intimidate. You're just like, oh, I don't know. It's all that visa stuff. Right. And then you're just like, wait, so it's like an SBA loan application, except you just put E2 visa instead of SBA loan, and you just pay a lawyer to do it for $2,000. Oh,
Okay.
you know, like that's the reason I say that is, with JT's back, I imagine he's South Asian, right?
Yeah.
Although E2s in India aren't a thing, but in Pakistan they are.
Okay.
Different countries are E2 visa eligible, whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, definitely worth you thinking about.
Okay.
I was gonna say something about, so it actually has more of an if you started becoming the E2 visa dude in Spanish on YouTube, that's like not a bad thing, dude.
This is what I mean. A whole new niche that we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like, there's a big market for that, man. All the flight capital and all that fun stuff.
Okay.
So that was one question I was going to ask. The second question I was going to ask was, I wanted to hear you disagree with me,
Sure.
because for a long time you were like, oh, I don't want to get commissions on selling franchises.
Yeah.
Right now, I think if you would have said from the beginning that that's my ultimate plan, you could have been calling me from the jet. With the amount of franchise eyeballs
Yeah.
that you kind of have had, I don't even know what tense to use that word in. What has that evolution been like for you as you've thought about it, where, like, I'm going to do something different because everybody's it's like,
Yeah.
maybe they all do it because it's a great way to make a shitload of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like, do you think you were too clever? Do you think it was the right choice? Like, I've always wondered that with you.
No, it's a great question. And I'd say a little bit of being too clever. I'd say like back to where I said I started, right, working under a multi-unit franchise owner as a HVAC sales rep driving around New Jersey. I would listen to podcasts in between my like customer visits, and I got obsessed with tech startups. And so the goal became, because I knew, like, by the time I went to college, I was like, I'm not working at a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah.
Like, the bureaucracy is not for me. My brothers all work at big companies, wear suits every day. Like, not for me. So I didn't really have a plan because I played soccer in college and just didn't think.
I feel like you went to wait, let me guess. I feel like you went to not Amherst, but like in that league, like Bowdoin. Like Bowdoin, or
funny. I wanted to go to Bowdoin because it was a good D3 school, but
you
no,
strike me as like a Bowdoin dude.
Wow. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I'll take it. We'll run with it. I went to Holy Cross in Massachusetts.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Like, is that NESCAC?
No. We're Patriot League, so
Okay.
it's Division I. So we play like Army, Navy, Bucknell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But like small time D1, right? So
Yeah.
not too far off, honestly. But yeah, so I was always going to go some other direction than like just a corporate job. And anyway, I got obsessed with startups, and that was the ultimate goal. It's like, okay, like I'm not going to be an investment banker at Goldman Sachs, but I do want to make a lot of money. So it's like startups are the way. Totally bought into the TechCrunch hype, all that stuff. And that was I was like a one-track mind. I was like, I'm going to figure it out. I don't have any VC network. I don't know anyone who does startups because all my friends, again, like were working on Wall Street. And my dad worked in insurance.
Yeah.
So totally foreign world. One way or the other, that led me to starting The Wolf. And, that was partially a learning point where I didn't feel that the media TAM, after being in it long enough, was there. Like, to be a pure franchise media company.
Yeah. I
didn't think it was there, or it would take too long, right? Like, path dependence matters too. But Crockett was really the biggest learning point there, where, again, I tried to say, screw brokerage. I think it's, a bunch of shit
over here.
Yeah. Like, let's build a data platform and let people research franchises on their own, versus the status quo, which it still is today, is you get on a call with someone and they, help guide you to
they
the
consult you.
Yes. Yeah, precisely. And it turns out a couple things. And Kayvon, if he ever listens to this, is going to be laughing because he texted me basically on launch day with like a polite way of saying, I think you should rethink your business strategy. I was like, thanks, KB. Like, really appreciate that, man. But he was.
I think you might have sent me that text. He's like, yo, I just sent this to Patrick.
Yeah.
Kayvon has said this to me too, because if you look at his journey within the space, he's like a banker and all these impressive stuff. And I've had this tube, which is like, he's like, okay, so we started, what was it called? Franchise Help. We started Franchise Help. It was lead gen, right? Big top of funnel, biggest lead generator in the franchise space.
Yeah.
And then we'd go to these brokers or whatever, and they'd be like, yeah, the leads are good, but like, it's hard to follow up with all of them. And I'm like, what? Like, just build an email list in your CRM and just send him an email every now and then. So I got sick of that. And I said, F it. And then he built FranFunnel, which is a SaaS for following up the franchise leads. And he's like, okay, then they're that. And they're like, wait, but they're not closing them and they don't know how to sell. It's like, so then they built, what was the organization again? I always forget the name.
Oakscale.
The one you worked at. Oakscale, which is, we're just going to do it ourselves, because at every step, I've been like disappointed in the ability for someone to understand that getting 50 leads with one that sells for $2,000 is less expensive than paying a $50,000 brokerage fee for every franchise you sell. Yeah. But the market doesn't want to do that for whatever reason. So it's like, all right, I'm not going to sit here and be right. I'm just going to play with the, I'm not going to sit here and be like, but this is more efficient. It's like, maybe they're not doing it for efficiency. Kayvon's literal like journey is him figuring that out over time. Like, fuck, we'll just grow them ourselves.
It's such an easy industry where it like looks like this massive industry. It's like, oh my God, McDonald's and Domino's and all these big businesses are franchises, right? And then you look at the way things are done, and coming at it from like a modern perspective, you're like, oh my God, like there's so much room to innovate and change things. And that's what I did. But when I launched Crockett, the thing I underestimated was, I knew the data wasn't standardized. So we were tempted to standardize data that isn't standardized. And then I also knew that it only updated once a year. But I really just flat out underestimated, even though people are considering buying a multi-$100,000 or multi-million-dollar investment, they're not really willing to pay to do research, which you would think like, hey, we priced it at
$500 to
ours was $300 a year. And like, we got people, I had this guy who retired from the NFL who I did a call with him. He signed up for our free trial. He's like, I love this. Great. And he's already a millionaire. He unsubscribed. I was like, damn, either our product sucks or we have just a go-to-market problem. And you could debate this all day, but I firmly believe it was go-to-market. And anyway, like the thing is, the timeliness of the data matters so much more than I gave it credit for, because you'll see a brand come out with financials and there's so much that happens from one year to the next. And I learned this honestly a lot through JT. Yeah, Crumble, and like JT would always be in my DMs, be like, hey, this is happening behind the scenes at a brand. Because he's got like, he's heads down, networking with franchisees, with brands.
He knows what's up. Hey man, just got this memo from corporate about,
Yeah, like we as a data provider scraping FTDs, and even though we had 20,
you're a year late.
Yeah, you were a year late, and it's like, don't get me wrong, it's helpful. I'm not saying it's not helpful, but it's a starting point and you want to pair data with someone who knows the behind the scenes. We joke, or I joke, JT doesn't laugh at it. I think it's funny, but like trying to be like the Adam Schefters of the franchise world, right? We're like, we know what the hell's going on with
what's actually going on.
Yeah. So that's why we're doing it.
And the thing
and
that
the money,
that
I'm not going to lie about the money
part.
Well,
so that was what I was just about to say, which is, in order to distribute, think about the success path for you to make $200,000 a year selling $400 data subscriptions, putting it in your pocket versus selling 6 franchises.
Yeah. I think it would be probably like closer to 10, but whatever.
10? Okay, I don't know the numbers, but like, what do you think, Patrick, is the more straightforward path to putting $200,000 in your pocket? It's like,
it's night and day what we're doing now. And not to mention, right? Like I raised venture for the data platform, which was a mistake on its own, because totally didn't look at actually do research,
like how it works
on the total addressable market, on the importance of structuring your cap table to motivate the founder and their founding team. which I'm grateful for.
We talked about that with me, you, and Kayvon in New York.
Yeah, exactly, man. So a lot of learnings there, but this path is more straightforward.
The last thing I'll say, man, is, and I have this idea, I could probably do it with ChatGPT's operator, and then maybe we'll do a question or something, then we can end. Is I have this theory of monetization, and I've talked about this with Kevin from Epic Gardening, Plant Daddy, who's done exceptionally well. He lives in San Diego.
I follow a lot of. He's great on YouTube. That guy.
Yep, and he's in San Diego, so we hang out. Yeah, he's super cool. Yeah, and we talk a lot about like monetization because he's obviously done a good job of that, and he had an exit to a private equity company, and they vertically integrated, and they're all this great stuff. And him and I've talked about this, and my very rough theory is that there's like 3 forms of monetization for like attention, especially I'm thinking B2B. At the top level, it's like swag, sponsorships, and affiliate offers, where it's like you see a B2B podcast, somebody who has a great B2B audience and they're selling pure VPN. Homeboy doesn't know how to monetize, right? But seriously, right? And that's not what I'm saying. I'll tell you the ChatGPT thing at the end. But like somebody has a newsletter and they're using Beehive's off-the-shelf ad network. Homeboy doesn't know how to monetize, right? Like, dude, that is such a poor usage of your B2B attention.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2 to me is like in-house products, which is what you guys are doing, which is like, I have a course on scaling your franchise, or I have a community, or it's basically selling your own book, right? And Kevin does a bit of that. They vertically integrated, they sell their own seeds, whatever.
Yeah.
And then to me, the third one is the hardest one, but to me is the obviously like the richest one, which is the using that attention for the absolute best business models that you own, meaning to scale your franchise network, not sell somebody else's.
Yeah.
Or to scale your B2B SaaS for Zors, or to build your to increase your royalty revenues, not somebody else's who pays you a big commission, right? So I think you have to think about what is the highest and best use of B2B attention. And it's not selling t-shirts and pure VPN ad reads on your podcast.
Yeah. Now,
that's how I've been thinking about it, is that there's like better. Oh, so the thing I was gonna say about ChatGPT, which is I was going to go to, have you used Operator yet?
Not yet. I've been watching, like Chris Corner posted some cool videos on it, but
yeah. So I've been using it a lot. And one of the things I want to do is be like, find me B2B influencers who sell t-shirts, because it's a contra indicator that they know what the fuck they're doing. If you sell t-shirts, I'm like, bro, I'm going to buy your newsletter because you obviously don't know how to make money off of it. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, it's like, dude, just like create a course. You'll make 100 times more.
Yeah.
Create some Notion templates, like write a book.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's also, for some reason, there's just like this strategy that seems to have been regurgitated. But yeah, like the newsletter thing, it's like everyone from 2020 to 2023, everyone was launching newsletters. Maybe it's still happening, but like JT was like, "Are you going to launch a newsletter?" I'm like, "No, dude. Like, why? Like, let's just funnel the attention to you, right? To our service, right? Like, we don't need this intermediary step." And I think probably like the price points and the dollar values you're talking about matter, right? Like for us, like we just talked about, 10 deals a year is a pretty significant amount of money in our world. So I don't need to like worry about
how many sponsorships would you need to sell. And with how many subscribers would you need? Then how many sponsorships at $1,500 each? And then they're bitching at you because they didn't get any convert. And you're just like, and we could sell one franchise.
Yeah. Newsletters. Yeah. It's, I commend the people who are doing it well. And like the company I came from that acquired The Wolf, like they know newsletters like the back of their hand. So it's just, you got to be all in on that. It's like, if you're just on Twitter and like funneling people to your personal newsletter, like you're not really playing a game that you can win long-term.
It does make me think though, and then, we'll wind up. It does make me think though, that there is, and the old organization that bought Wolf, I think there are some challenges associated with their business model, and they were venture backed, right?
Yeah. They've raised,
which is not necessarily my thing. But like, I do think that given that there are a lot of creators out there, like B2B creators who are poor at monetization, I do continue to believe that they're underpriced. It's not the big ones, right? But I do still believe that there are opportunities to scoop up this lower cost, high affinity B2B attention. I don't know if it looks like what Workweek's doing,
Yeah.
but I do still think, like, instead of forcing Patrick to become the CEO of a SaaS, she'd be like, Patrick, do what you're good at. I'll sell the franchises and we'll go halvesies. Like, it doesn't need to be more complicated than that, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's still a really good decision for Patrick because you're like, ooh, half of those. And it's a really good decision for JT who's like, ooh, I don't have to cold call, right? So I still think that it's still underpriced. Do you agree with that?
I do. And I'll also just caveat too. I wanted to run the SaaS, so that's just for anyone listening. Like, it wasn't like a part of the plan. Like, I could have easily just kept doing the Wolf, but again, like my whole thing was tech startup.
Yeah. No,
So,
I mean, you've gone on this journey and it's really interesting because you've like tried stuff and I like that. I didn't like that. That worked. That didn't.
Exactly.
Like, it's super cool. You know, that's why I think it's so interesting.
Thank you, man. Yeah. But there is a ton of value. It's still in this niche B2B world. I think it's definitely like a case by case basis, right? With should you go monetize with traditional media and sponsors and ads and like events and all that stuff? And also, do you like that? Like, I was definitely too much just like thinking about money. Like, I don't want to be like hosting a shit ton of events every year. Like, that wouldn't have been fun for me.
What I did, dude, was I worked backwards from my perfect day. That's honestly what I did. Is I looked at my perfect day, like, where am I working? What am I doing? Am I writing? Am I talking?
Yeah.
Am I with other people? Am I in a big office? Am I by myself? And then every opportunity that I looked at, I was like, does this move me more towards that vision or farther away? And my vision wasn't, I'm traveling 3 days a week on my private jet because I'm acquiring so many subscale SMBs for my roll up. And I'm like, that's not so it's very easy for me to say no when somebody's like, John, come co-found a private equity company with me. I'm like, no. What? No.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's like, hey, writing some threads, making some content with a little studio I have in my spare bedroom and selling 20 franchises a year, plus doing some other fun stuff on the side and working out every day at 4 p.m. I'm like, yeah. That's the day I want. It's not the other. So that's how I did it, was I just worked backwards off what day I wanted.
Yeah. I mean, it's now what I do. I think maybe some young people have like better vision than I had, but I didn't know. So I was just trying things and doing things. But like, yeah, I look at, whether it's Workweek or other tech startups. I mean, Workweek's media, but like other startups raising a lot of venture. I know now, I'm like, I don't want that life. I don't want to be on the trying to hit $1 billion valuation in like 5 years. Like, it's an insane lifestyle. And I think there's more than enough money to be made bootstrapping. So
especially if you know how to create content.
Yeah.
It's even easier to bootstrap if you know how to create content.
I think bootstrapping is, I'm going to say there's two sides to it, right? It's never been easier because if you know how to create content because of AI and because of leverage with offshore talent. But at the same time, right, like that also means that there's going to be more competition.
Noisier. Yeah. Super interesting, man. Final questions. You like Sagan? You're a happy customer? I should
love Sagan.
Get that in. Yeah. Good times.
And that's
you guys come to some of our other stuff, man. Like, we have so many other things. I know, but you'd really like it, man.
I know there's value in like I see the emails of like, hey, like here's a webinar happening. Like, I know you had that big military, like former Navy SEAL guy just doing some. Yeah, like he's legit.
Yeah, Christian. Yeah. He's not Navy SEAL, but yeah.
Okay.
It'll piss him off if you say that, but it's funny.
Really? I feel like everyone else it's a compliment, but I'm not. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Not a military guy.
Okay.
But
it's okay. It's fine. Just say special operations.
Okay. Special ops. Yeah. Right. Of course. Yeah. But dude, I don't have the time.
I know. But send your team. Dude, send your team. Half the stuff we do is for your team.
Yeah. Well, how
to write better emails. Send your video, dude.
Yeah. I could send more.
Right? It's not just about it's not just about you. Can I call you the artist formerly known as Wolf? I feel like that'd be a good name for you.
Like my new stage name.
Yeah, just the artist formerly known as Wolf. That feels catchy. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it feels catchy.
It is. Yeah, that's the thing. Wolf was quick, one syllable.
I know. It was good. Cool, man. Any final thoughts, questions, comments, concerns?
No, man, this was fun though. This was good.
Cool.
I'm
All
always
right,
down to chat.
remind people where they can find you.
Frandogs.com or at the Frandog on X/Twitter.
Cool, man. And if you ever want to kind of rage in, America's second city, you're in Hoboken, New Jersey, be sure to look Patrick.
Yes. Yeah. Anyone in New York, feel free to DM me. Always happy to meet up.
Cool, man. All right. Thanks, Pat.